Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. Welcome, welcome. Now, this is part two of the sneak peek for the Vander Ark case that I'm dropping for you guys. It looks like a really big case, so I'm just kind of covering bases, letting you guys get a feel for it. This is when she takes the stand with her defense attorney. Now, these two are going to go back and forth, and I'm going to drop different episodes on both. But this is what we covered in our live stream today. If you want to be a member, always go member up, and you guys have the full archive of live, just old live archives that I have. But this one I wanted to post basically so we didn't have to do the same video twice, because this is going to be one of our topics up here on the channel. So, hit me up in the comments. Tell me how you feel about the topic. Tell me what you guys want me to cover next. And without further ado, let's get straight into this thing, because it is a crazy one. Very, very crazy. But anyways, let's do it.
All right, Mr. Johnson, you can call your first witness.
Your Honor, the defense calls Shonda Vander Ark.
All right, Ms. Vander Ark, if you can come around here, please.
Miss Vander Ark, if you could come around here, please. I like how they're just so cordial to this shithead. Hold on. Let me drop down my camera.
Stand in front of that chair. Raise your right hand, please.
Raise your right hand, please. In this matter now pending, do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do, yes, sir.
All right, you can put your hand down, grab a seat. Please state your name for the record, spelling your first name and last name.
Shonda, S-H-A-N-D-A, Vander Ark, V-A-N-D-E-R, space, capital A-R-K.
That name is insane. I keep saying it. I'm going to say it again. Now that I hear the accent on her too, this lady's a weirdo already. Just like, imagine you have Shonda Vander Ark in your class, And it's her with that face. It's weirdo, automatically.
Thank you, Ms. Vander Ark. You're being called to testify in your own cases. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
And to do that, you have to make sure that everyone can understand you, correct?
Yes, sir.
With you, and knowing you as I do, I don't think volume's going to be a problem with you.
Probably not, sir.
Talking fast, maybe.
Yes, sir, it might.
Okay, so this is, are you nervous?
Yes, sir.
This is stressful?
Yes, sir, very.
So questions going to be thrown at you, fast and furious. You've seen how trials work, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And under those circumstances, you may speed up again, as I do.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You may be reminded from time to time to slow down just a little bit. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Let's make sure everyone understands you. You've been sitting through this trial since the beginning, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you were arrested for these offenses alleged back when?
July 7th of 2022.
Okay. So you've been living with this thing for more than, 18 months?
17 months, yes,
17 months. So you know what we're talking about, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you understand the allegations against you?
Yes, sir.
And that it also helps that you have a legal background, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The things they said about how well you did in school and all those things, were those all true?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I don't want you sitting there and regaling this, but the things about cum laude and going to law school, all that stuff is true.
It was magna cum laude, yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. All right. Let's go back to the very beginning. Okay.
Well, even her defense attorney doesn't know what to say. He's like, when you force-fed your son hot sauce, what was going through your head, to help him? Because obviously there's nothing to defend here. This shit is probably crazy. He had to stop. He was like, okay, hold on. We're going to make you look good somehow. Somehow, we're going to make this happen.
When did Timothy come to your care?
May of 2021.
Prior to that, who had physical and legal custody of Timothy?
My ex-husband.
Okay. And when he sent, and how did it happen that you ended up with custody then?
My ex reached out to me, stating that Timothy he could no longer handle him, that he was pushing his buttons, and that he needed to send him to live with me.
Okay. And you agreed to that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Had you ever lived with Timothy during his...
When he was younger, yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So You agreed to accept him into your home?
Yes, sir.
And who was living in your home at the time?
Myself, my husband, Adam, Paul Ferguson, and then my little man, G.
G. Okay, that's what we've been calling G, correct?
It's really hard to do. Yes, sir.
Okay, just do the best you can. Okay, so they're all living in your home, and then Timothy joins you, correct?
Yes, sir.
When Timothy's joining you, did your ex-husband ever make any effort to transfer legal custody to you?
We discussed it, but he never did actually sign anything. No, sir.
Okay. And without legal custody, how do you get Timothy into school?
You can't.
And without legal custody, how do you get medical treatment for Timothy?
You can't.
Did your husband at least send his, I assume he had medical insurance for Timothy, did he send that?
He did not send me. I requested his medical card, his insurance card, and he never sent it to me.
Now, you heard the testimony that Timothy saw the doctor in 2019. Did you hear that?
Yes, I did.
That was a year before you received him?
2 years before I received him.
2 years before. So, in the prior 2 years before you received him, as far as you know, based on what you heard here, your ex-husband never took him to the doctor?
As far as I know, yes, sir.
How do you know if he had medical insurance for this young man?
He told me he did.
Okay. But he never sent it to you?
No, sir.
Okay. What was your financial situation once Timothy arrived and your husband had a stroke?
Yo, what's up, One Way? How you doing? What's up? What's up, Marlo? She was a law clerk? Okay. Yeah, it seems like something she would brag about. Like, oh, yeah, I was a law clerk, I know about the law, so I can do this to my son, like some real douchebag shit.
After the stroke, we
Yes.
lost my husband's income, and it was paycheck to pay, not even paycheck to paycheck. Almost everything was paid late. I was struggling. I asked Paul for help with groceries sometimes because we were struggling.
Okay. And Paul was working full-time?
He was working part-time.
He's working at Applebee's?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So he's working part-time, and so were you receiving any child support?
No,
So the entire financial burden was on you.
correct.
Could you have afforded daycare for any of your children?
Absolutely not, no.
And could you have afforded any extra expenses other than the ones that you were providing for?
No.
What type of expenses were you able to provide for this family?
Just basic living expenses.
Oh
Yeah.
shit, what's up, Green Eye Bandit? How you doing? Finally checking out this Vander Ark situation. Crazy lady. And she looks so innocent, but from far, it's like even the braids on two sides, like, oh no, she just gives me very creepy vibes.
Yes, sir.
Utilities?
Yes, sir.
Food?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that leads to the next question I have.
Like,
for
why
you.
that hairstyle
You
for the
had-
court case that's gonna determine the rest of your life? Like, I don't know. It's just. You could tell they're old ass braids. Like she did them like 3 days ago. They're all halfway unraveled. Like,
Monitors and cameras in your home, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And the impression from the testimony I heard is that it was for the sole purpose of ensuring that Timothy could not get to food.
What's up,
Is that
Mariah?
accurate?
No.
Why did you have all those monitors and cameras in your home?
When Timothy came to live with us, his stepmother informed me that they had motion sensors. They weren't as tech savvy as I was. I worked in tech before law school. I worked in tech support for several years. But they had motion sensors and she told me that she didn't sleep at night. She only slept when he was at school because he was into everything. And so because my younger child, he used to, when he was about 2, he would take all his clothes off. So we started putting a camera in his room. And then once we moved to the Marshall Road location, it was bi-level. My husband was born with a disability. My husband was wheelchair bound. So we had an extra wheelchair that we kept on the upper level. That's where the master bedroom was. But that way,
hey, that's a lot of stress. Your husband has a disability. Your son has a disability. This is what I'm saying. Like, if you can't mentally take it, there's no hard feelings. Just give them to whatever system. You know what I mean? It's better than doing what she's doing, like starving someone to death. Like, come on, bro. At that point, you're just there's no coming back from it. You can't say that you were just overwhelmed.
If G was down in his bedroom.
No, I'm saying the braids are weird. Why would you wear, what are they called, pigtails or some shit? You're gonna wear pigtails to your prosecution? I don't know. And they're old and raggedy looking. I'm just saying, she's weird. Like, what are you trying to look like, a schoolgirl? You're trying to look young and innocent, like fucking.
We could talk to him through the camera and have him come up. It was much easier. My husband could crawl down the steps before the stroke, but we didn't want him to have to crawl up and down those steps.
Okay. And again, let's go back to the issue of food. Was food the only reason why you felt you had to monitor Timothy, or were there other issues?
There were plenty of issues, sir.
So, well first of all,
The milk mine.
we've heard some testimony
I can't
as
read.
to Timothy's special needs. What were his special needs?
He was on the autism spectrum, but he was completely verbal.
Yeah, no. See, I like pigtails. If you're gonna be, you're gonna do things with it, and we could have fun. But I don't want you to wear pigtails to the fucking dinner, or to the like, you know what I mean? There's a time and place. I don't want you to wear pigtails to court. Don't take that shit out. Like, why are you wearing that to, like, I don't know.
And he was grade level in school. He was not behind in school at all. He was diagnosed with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. He was diagnosed as bipolar and sensory processing disorder. I heard Paul mention physical disability. He didn't have any. Now, Timothy, when he first got there, said he had a physical disability, and I asked his stepmom about it to make sure, and she said no, he was not coordinated at all. The first summer that he lived with us, my youngest was playing baseball, and Timothy actually mentioned, because we had planned to put him in public high school, I'm going to try out for the baseball team, and I didn't say anything to him, but I remember thinking, sorry, sweetie, there's no way. You don't have the coordination for that.
All right. And he liked to take, well, you tell me, did he like to take things apart?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Can you give some examples?
He took batteries apart. He took toys apart, my youngest son's toys. If he could get a hold of anything from Paul's room, he would take, like, mostly it was Legos. Paul still had Legos. He, at one point, messed with our water heater.
What do you mean?
He actually turned the gas off to the water heater. He knocked out the pilot
gas.
light and then turned the gas off as well at different points.
Okay.
Bro was just ahead of the game.
Did you have
He was
any
trying to save you money.
concerns as to whether or not his predilections, his desire to get into things might be a safety hazard for either him or somebody else in the home?
I was extremely concerned about that, yes, sir.
So it was your desire to, was it just your desire to monitor Timothy, or did you also have a younger child in the home that you wanted to monitor?
We had both.
Okay. Was it, well, who did you want to monitor? One or the other, or both?
Both.
Okay. All right.
Clearly, Timothy.
So you set up these video and audio cameras, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And alarms on the doors?
Those didn't get installed until about 3 weeks before he passed away.
Okay. And motion sensors?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
He got around the motion sensors multiple times.
Were you able to stay home and personally monitor your children?
No, I had to work full time.
Okay. How were you?
Yeah, she's probably out here posting, Black Lives and all that bullshit. This is the lady right here who's so supportive of everything movement style. You know why? Because it's a cover. You know what I'm saying? She is a Karen for sure. Like, she's the type of person, she won't let go like a parking space. Petty. You could see it in her face. Like, look right below her lip. There's a little wrinkle right there. They say that, okay, literally, they say that if you smile a lot, your face will kind of like, over time, will have that shape to it. If you frown a lot, if you're sad a lot, over time, your face will have like certain creases to it. I don't know how true it is, but look at her face. What is that? A permanent frown, literally. And if you look right below her little lip line, there's like a little crease because she's always fucking angry about some shit. I'm telling you. Look at it. When she speaks, there's the two lines to her lip, but right below the two lines, there's like a little crease right there from her frowning up her face.
Were you able to get Timothy into school?
No, we were
Look
not.
at
We
it.
tried to enroll him in Mona Shores High School, and
I would throw
Mona
an
Shores
arrow
told
up
me
if this
that
was a video, but yeah, this bitch
my
is always
ex,
fucking.
I guess Timothy had damaged a
tripping,
Chromebook
for
in
sure.
Oklahoma, and because my ex owed money on that, they would not send his records up to us. So we were not able to enroll him. So I found online homeschool curriculum that I had to monitor, but I enrolled him in that.
Let me make sure I understand. Was it your original intention to put Timothy into public schools?
Yes, sir. We
Got
started the
eyebrows
process.
from Jack Nicholson. Hold on. That's crazy. Hold on. That's out of pocket. That's fucked up. Look at that. The second you said that, all I could remember was the scene where he's like possessed by the thing and he's like staring off into the distance. That's spot on his eyebrows. Look at that shit. Now look at Jack Nicholson. Damn. Shout out. Who said that? Who the fuck said that? You Green Eye Bandit, you're out of pocket for that. That's wild.
Filled out the paperwork.
This is Miss
because
Miss
of my
Jack
work schedule, I
Nicholson,
couldn't
for
actually
sure.
take paperwork to Mona
That's
Shores.
crazy. She could be his daughter type shit.
My husband did that. Adam did that. But yes, we did try to get him enrolled.
Okay.
That's
The
actually-
youngest
that's
child, G,
crazy.
was he in public schools?
No, he was homeschooled.
What about Paul? Do you know if he was homeschooled or if he, when he got to you, was he still in school?
No, he had graduated high school.
Okay. All right.
So I'm assuming Paul's the asshole co-abuser, if you would say.
Okay. Now, you mentioned that you weren't able to stay at home and care for your children at home, in the home, as a stay-home parent. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And what type of? I assume you're out working.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Explain to the jury the work that you did during the period of time that Timothy arrived in your home.
When he first arrived, I was still studying for the bar exam, so my husband was working full-time, and I was just doing, I
I
trained.
guarantee you she failed that shit. That's why she's extra angry. Life didn't work out the way she wanted it to. Husband disabled, son disabled. Fuck it. Let's just do some evil shit.
Trained dogs on the side, everything from basic obedience up through different types of service dogs for other people. And so I had a couple of dog training clients, but mostly I was studying for the bar exam. I also was an intern here in this courthouse at
That pay a
time.
lot of money?
Oh, it was not paid at all, sir.
Okay.
But it was the week of the bar exam. My judge that I worked for here as a law clerk informed me of this position that was open in Waco County, and she knew that the judge referred me, and that's when I did the interview, and I started work, I think it was 2 days after I completed the bar exam.
Okay. Was that a paid position?
Yes, it was.
Was it lucrative enough where you didn't have to do any other work?
Well, with my husband's income, it was.
Okay. But your husband's income stopped when he got sick?
When he had the stroke, yes.
Okay. So at that point, was it enough income to provide for you and your family?
No.
Were you receiving any other outside incomes?
My older brother lives in the home that I still own in Oklahoma, and he paid rent to us.
Okay.
But it wasn't a lot. That went towards our house rent.
Child support?
No. My ex, one of the siblings was forgotten yesterday. There's 5 total. We talked about the 4 boys. I also have a daughter. She is now 19, but she stayed down with her dad.
Okay.
So we each had one, so there was no child support. And because of child support on the other 4 kids, I actually was still paying my ex child support. It was still being deducted from my check.
Okay. So you had that's another deduction from your income?
$1,000 a month, yes, sir.
Okay. So,
No, she was getting jabbed up from every direction of life.
were you also doing tutoring?
Which is why I'm saying, like, why do you take all that fuckery out on your son? Go and like join a boxing gym or some shit. Put some pain on somebody else. You're gonna torture the person that's supposed to be your responsibility. That's stupid. Like, from a logistics standpoint, that's dumb. You in the long run, things are gonna become harder for you. Like,
When you went to the judge who was paying you, were you still tutoring or doing any other outside work?
Not at that. I was doing the dog training.
Okay. Let me ask you this. What time in the morning did you leave to go to work?
I usually left the house about 6:30,
And what time, on average, were you getting home?
about 6 o'clock.
Okay. So we're talking about 12 hours away from the home.
Yes, sir.
Okay, those monitors, the video cameras in your home, you were able to, to view them while at work?
From my phone, occasionally, yes, sir.
Okay. But you were still working.
Yes, sir. I didn't view them at all until after the stroke. I mean, because my husband was there, or we had arrangements where my husband was off certain days of the week. Paul was off one day, specifically one day a week, so he took care of Gabriel and Timothy. And then the other 2 days that I needed care for Gabriel when my husband was working, he actually went to my in-laws' house down in West Olive.
May I approach the witness for just a moment, John? You may.
Oh, he said you fucked up. What the fuck? And she's like, oh, sorry. Shit. Look at the list.
Let's see. You have 3 children at home.
Yes, sir.
Oh, and they're not even gonna address that. Okay, interesting. She's like Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz. I'm telling you, it's the dumbest hairstyle to bring to a serious setting. Not one other female, I promise you, in the crowd or in the fucking prosecution team has pigtails. It's not gonna happen. You're not gonna see it.
Okay. And my understanding is you faced other challenges personally in terms of your personal health.
Yes, sir, I did.
For instance, let's run down the list. You had insomnia.
Severe insomnia caused by attention deficit hyperactivity disorder.
Okay.
Oh, you were ready to say that shit. You ever notice that Karens know how to diagnose themselves so properly? They have this like 10-word explanation of a problem they have. You out of here, bro? Hell yeah, G. They have this 10-word definition of some sort of problem they got, right? And they could just spit it out like, yeah, it's this and that and that and that and this wrong with me. Like, come on now.
For those folks who get a great night's sleep every night, don't understand what insomnia does to your ability to function, can you explain to them what impact chronic insomnia has on a person?
It limits your ability to think clearly. Your energy level is greatly reduced. Takes a lot longer to process things. You forget things easier. It was much harder to function with so little sleep.
Okay. And you talked about your other personal disorders. Were you receiving medications for those?
I was for I have severe attention deficit hyperactivity disorder combined type.
She's supposed to call him G, not Gabriel. Got you. So he's like, you keep saying his name. Stop fucking saying his name. He's a minor. Got you. Okay, cool. I understand, Phoenix. Appreciate you.
I also have sensory processing disorder and OCD.
Okay, so you have all those problems, and it just caused you to force feed some hot sauce. You know, I have OCD and chronic non-sleep. I forgot the word. Yeah, insomnia. Sorry, it was bullshit, ma'am.
My husband's stroke. As a result of my husband's stroke, because I viewed him. I wasn't in the room when he had the stroke, but I was there right afterwards, and so I developed post-traumatic stress disorder with disassociation from that. The only
Now she has PTSD, guys. Now she has PTSD. Yo, it's all fucked up over here in Dorothy land. It's all fucked up. Now she has... I don't buy it. I don't buy it. Everything is wrong with you. Everything mentally is wrong with you, which means everything you did to your son is just okay. It's just fine because everything is wrong with you, right? No, that's not how this shit works.
medication that I was on was for the ADHD.
Okay. And you had the service dogs in your presence too.
I had one service dog for me, yes.
Okay. What sorts of interventions were available for Timothy's disorders?
When he came to us, he was on medication. They gave us a whole, large gallon-sized Ziploc.
Someone said, yeah, you found her. Yes, people have been talking about this Vander Ark lady, this Vander Ark character for a minute. We had to go check it out.
Bag of medications for him. I could not refill them because I could not get him to the doctor. We were going to try to...
service dog. Red flag, folks. Red flag. Service dog user incoming. No, listen, I ain't got nothing against no service animals or people using them. I'm just saying if she is a Karen, she may have a service dog. That's all I'm saying. There's a saying like, I'm not saying you have to be cool to. No. The saying is, it doesn't mean that if you smoke weed, you're cool. But if you're cool, you probably definitely smoke weed or some shit like that. The same saying applies for this lady. Like, to be a Karen, you don't have to have a service dog, you know? But if you are a Karen, you more than likely have a service dog.
Adjust his medication, because when he came to live with us, when he took his medicine, he was a zombie. It was just horrific. And when Paul came to live with us, because Paul had only been there a year when Timothy moved up, sorry. And when he was on the same big bag of medication, and there were serious concerns that they just, instead of handling, especially my ex, he wanted to medicate them. But I never got that option because I couldn't take him to the doctor.
Okay. All right. There's been some allegation, there's been some implication, let's put it that way, that you tried to keep people from seeing Timothy, that you tried to keep him away from public view, that he didn't go to school, he didn't go to the doctor, etc. That he went outside, he was in the backyard. Do you remember that testimony?
Yes, sir.
If someone's outside in your backyard, are there trees or fences or other obstacles to keep the neighbors from looking over there and seeing who's out in your yard?
No, there was a clearing before. There was woods at the back of the lot, but there was a clearing, and at least the neighbors on each side, there were pretty sizable windows on the back of their homes. They weren't I think the next door was a 2-level, but the one on one side was just a single level. It may have had a basement, I don't know. But there was big windows, and they could see into our backyard easily.
Okay. Was it ever your intention to keep people from seeing Timothy?
No, my mother-in-law saw him. They do rental home inspections, I guess the city of Norton Shores. I don't remember if it was late April or early May of 2022, but it was in that neighborhood. And so we'd had the inspection that day, and my mother-in-law happened to stop by that day. And I invited her in. We sat and talked, and Timothy wanted to come say hi, so he came up and said hi to her.
Okay. Now, you're a Muskegon County transplant, correct?
Yes, I'm not from around here.
So, and I'm assuming that your direct biological family, there's not a lot of them in this county?
There's I don't have, other than my children, I don't have any biological family here.
Okay. How far away are they?
My older brother is in Oklahoma City, and then I have 2 sisters that I have not talked to in over 20 years, and they live in Alabama, where I'm from.
Now, I wonder why you haven't talked to your sisters in over 2 years. She said, "See, she's the problem." Even her own testimony is kind of proving like, yeah, she's the problem. She has a stressful life. Boo-hoo. I'm looking up like the camera's still up there. Boo-hoo. You know, you have a stressful life. Everybody does. Get over it. You know what I'm saying? And then she's terrible to her family, it seems like. So, like, I feel like nobody really liked her. And then that along with everything else in her life just made her say, again, let's just do some evil shit. Fuck it. What's the worst that could happen? You know, prison. That's what could happen.
How far away are they?
My older brother is in Oklahoma City, and then I have 2 sisters that I have not talked to in over 20 years, and they live in Alabama.
Oh, I thought she said 2 years. Over 20 years. Yeah. Damn. Over 20 years. That's some I hate you forever shit. I don't even know what could have caused that. I hate you forever. You are not like, that's crazy. Imagine, like, shit, you don't know what country they're in. You don't know what life they're living. Forever. It's crazy.
Where I'm from.
Okay. So how often do those folks, your bio family, stop by and to see how sister's doing?
The last time I saw my older brother was when we went down to North Carolina for my oldest son's wedding in October of 2021. And then my brother and sister-in-law drove over from Oklahoma for the wedding as well. We FaceTimed a lot. We watched football games on FaceTime, but I didn't get to see them after we moved up here.
Okay. Do you have a lot of friends in the area that will come by, will stop by maybe on?
She's accused of starving her son. So, just a little update for y'all.
Does it happen to be in the area, that sort of thing? They will come by and visit your home?
Most of my friends were from work, and they actually, because I worked in Newaygo County, they lived in Newaygo or Oceana County, or even further. I don't know. I'm not from here. I don't know what county is next to Newaygo. east, but I know at least one person from work lived in, I think it's Big Rapids.
Yes.
So no, they didn't stop by because they were too far away.
Did you have a lot of time for social interactions at your home?
No, not at all.
And how about Paul? Did he have friends that he'd bring by, or
No, he talked about people at work, but he never asked to bring anybody over.
was he ever given any instructions? You can't have people in this house?
Absolutely not.
And what about the youngest child, G? Did he have any friends for sleepovers or anything like that?
We didn't have any friends over for, no. He played baseball. Because of me not being able to get out, he didn't get out a lot. I mean, I wish I could have gotten him out more. That's why we put him in baseball, so he could get around other kids some more. I had been looking into homeschool co-ops, but with my schedule, I just couldn't do that.
Yo, see, Paul is probably even the worst because he's old enough to understand that this lady is crazy. Like, he could have stopped that at any point. That's why I feel like he's the worst one. Paul sucks the most. Like, she sucks a lot, but I feel like he sucks the most. This is bro at the end of the day. You know what I mean? How do you participate in that bullshit? That's the part. Yeah, that's the part I don't understand.
Okay. What would you say was more impactful in terms of your, get Timothy out of the house? Was it your desire he not get out of the house, or your work requirements?
Someone said the judge said he was worse than his mom. He is, bro. What's the saying or the scripture or the saying in the scripture? Hey, you're your brother's keeper. And I feel like it's instinctual. You can't see little bro getting fucked up. Who cares if it's dad? Everybody's seen that type of a rivalry. Dad's beating up your little brother. You fight dad because you don't like that. Even if mom is doing some shit, you're going to be like, hey, mom, chill. Like, chill the fuck out. At a certain age, you get stronger than your mom. You should be able to be like, hey, this is not right. Report it at the very least. Yeah, he's worse, for sure.
It was work requirements and his choice. There was, I want to say it was April. The weather was halfway decent. I guess people here there was kids down the street. There was teenagers playing basketball when I came home from the grocery store one weekend. Mm-hmm. And I stopped and rolled my window down and said, hey, I've got a 15-year-old at home. Can he come play with y'all? Even though I knew he wasn't coordinated, I thought he would enjoy it. And they said, yeah, sure, absolutely. And he did not want to go play.
Okay. Did he ever request to go play and you denied him?
No, he never did. Actually, Paul, we had, mom and dad, my in-laws, got Timothy a bike for his 15th birthday. And Paul and we were on a cul-de-sac. And Paul had tried to teach him to ride the bike.
Okay.
I know they had a few sessions. I don't know how many.
Okay. So on those occasions, he'd be outside.
Oh yeah, he was out in front of the house in the cul-de-sac.
Okay. All right. Okay. Let's talk about some of the things that have come up in this case. There were leg irons discovered in your home. Were you aware of those?
I was aware that Paul had them. You actually could look on my Amazon. Paul had the option to do payment on the Amazon as well as mine. Uh-huh. And Paul had actually ordered those under his account.
Okay. You did not order the leg irons?
I did not, no.
Did you ever use them?
No, sir. No, I never instructed.
Let's be in specific. Did you ever use them with Timothy?
No, sir.
Okay. Did you ever notice any bruising on Timothy's wrists or legs?
Okay, hold on. What the fuck are leg irons? Oh, handcuffs. Leg cuffs. Handcuffs. Leg irons. Okay. That's the first time I've heard that word for the leg shackles. Okay. So they're on some devious shit. Oh, I didn't order them. Paul ordered them. Man, listen, you either told Paul to order them or Paul told you and you said, no, you do it off of your Amazon. You know what I mean?
That might be attributable to the use of leg irons.
No, sir, I never saw anything like that.
You heard Paul talk about plastic ties. What was that about?
I honestly don't remember.
Okay.
I don't know why we would order. I saw the ties. I don't remember ordering them. I don't know what happened there.
You're going to say I don't remember a lot, aren't you?
Unfortunately, yes, because of the dissociation.
Okay. Explain to the jury what that means.
I guess there's different.
Oh, the my dissociative disorder. I don't remember the last 20 years of my life because I was just disassociating the whole time. Okay.
You're going to say, I don't remember a lot, aren't you?
Unfortunately, yes, because of the dissociation.
Okay. Explain to the jury what that means.
I guess there's different forms. Somebody told me this. I did not find out about the PTSD and the disassociation until about 7 months after my husband's stroke, even though it had been going on since the stroke.
I need to place an objection on the record, and I think we're going to have to excuse the jury.
All right, so that was pretty much the start of her taking the stand, folks. Shit. You guys let me know if you guys want me to do more of this Vander Art case for real, for real. I think I'm going to post this as like an actual video just so more people can see it over time. And I'll just cut it out of the live and I'll repost it.